Welcome to Dad's DeFi Space. I'm Kevin, a father, a teacher, and DeFi investor, and I'm so grateful that you came here today. Look, one tweet, $19 billion gone, Bitcoin dumped, Ethereum collapsed, and altcoins got absolutely smoked. But let me be clear right from the start. Nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm not here to tell you what to buy. I'm here to show you how I think, how I position, and how I manage risk in the crypto markets in real time. And if that's what you're looking for, you are in the right place. Check out our free strategy articles at Dad's DeFi Space. Go follow me over on X at CryptoZone1013 and download and sign up for a free membership and get access to our free crypto and DeFi starter course at Dad's DeFi Space, and join us on Telegram at Dad's DeFi Space. And if you really want to support the channel, check out Blowfin or Weeks non-KYC exchanges, links in the description to help support the channel. Lots of opportunities for rewards, but let's get back to today's video. On October 10th, Trump announced fresh China tariffs on tech. This is not official policy, but markets don't care. Liquidations on the tune of $19 million ripped across crypto. Check out our market analysis update from yesterday's video. At the same time, Bitcoin dominance surged. Fear returned to the market fast. Fear and greed in the crypto markets went back down to 25, which is heavily in the fear range. Retail and everyday investors and traders are scared. Right now, Bitcoin is sitting at 113K, but yesterday we were sitting as low as 105, down over literally Bitcoin down almost 15% on the day. It rebounded to 111K, 8%. Ethereum was down 14% in the range of 35 to 37K, and the total crypto market cap, if we take a look at total one, we were down almost 11% on the day. Look at this massive wick that was bought up right here. Same time, Bitcoin dominance went sky high to 60.67%. Really, it wicked all the way up to almost 63.5. This wasn't a breakdown, it was a flush out. And here's the thing, flush outs create windows. And then this video, we're going to talk about how I allocate it during the crash and what altcoins I'm investing in. So during this chaos in the crypto market, I did three things. I preserved capital, I rode a Bitcoin dominance long, and I flipped bias and started buying up selective altcoins. So I'm deploying, building positions, and these are all high conviction assets that we believe will lead the next rotation. And in this video, we're going to take a look into some of the altcoins I have the highest conviction in. If you look at our screen, you can see all of my major altcoin plays in the market cycle right now. And maybe you can take a guess of which are the top four that I was allocating to yesterday. If you were a member of our private group or the free Telegram channel, you already know the answer to that question. So if you're interested, check it out and join. If you pay attention to our list, there aren't a lot of meme coins on there. But I'm sure most of you know what's in that number one position. That would be Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is the OG of the altcoin space, pretty much one of the first altcoins available. It's still the most secure, battle-tested layer one in the crypto and DeFi game. It's proof of work, or excuse me, proof of stake and deflationary mechanism creates long-term token support. And the more people use Ethereum, the more Ethereum fees that are burned, creating deflation. Now, right now, we're sitting kind of even, but if the network gets used more, this is going to create deflationary mechanism that could drive price up. So will the ETF narrative of Ethereum lead the way when the institutions re-enter or are entering into the market. Time will tell. What's crazy is that if you take a look at DeFi Llama, Ethereum has over $117 billion locked. This is a ridiculous amount of liquidity in comparison to other blockchains. Now, Ethereum is not without risk. First, it's obviously a higher beta than Bitcoin, and you're going to have a deeper sell off when corrections occur, but also greater gains when the pumps happen. There's also still regulatory uncertainty remaining around Ethereum staking and DeFi, which could affect the token. But with TradFi entering into the crypto space, Ethereum will end up being one of the darlings of the traditional finance sector, and I need to be positioned for it. The second token that we were accumulating is still one of the bigger plays and safer plays in this space, and that is Solana. Now, my personal bull thesis for Solana is they have the fastest, almost cheapest, and quickest transaction speed in this space, and they have the cleanest UX in crypto. They are picking up to being one of the biggest players in the RWA place, and when the market heats up, people will come back to the Solana meme coin casino that was pump.fun. Look, exploding meme coins and NFT culture is still real, not hype, even though it's not the main reason I invest in this space. At the same time, protocols like Camino Finance offer structured DeFi lending exposure on Solana, vault access, lending and borrowing, etc. And there's plenty of opportunities to farm liquidity on Solana. Now, Solana does have risks. The blockchain has gone down at times, and it's still shadowed by the FTX collapse legacy of Sam Bankman-Fried. The infrastructure stability is being tested on Solana in a very high load, and it has failed at times, but so have other blockchains. So Solana, many have believe that it has solidified its spot in this space as one of the big players, and it has. But some parts of Solana still aren't battle tested yet, and that is the risk we take. But I still have a large Solana bag that I do plan on unloading in the next few months towards the end of the cycle. Now, let's look at token number 3, which is the Sui blockchain. And I tend to use the Slush wallet. And this blockchain, the baby of one of Facebook engineers who helped to build their failed blockchain a number of years back. And those developers ended up creating Sui and Aptos. Now, this blockchain has scalable infrastructure with object first architecture, and the DeFi network within Sway blockchain is massive. You got so many different protocols such as Sulend, Nave, yes, Alpha, and so many others in this space. Now, this is very much a VC token, and there are some tokenomic risks because the supply is very much in the hands of a small number of individuals. So some of that has created poor early market perception. And they still need strong ecosystem pull to maintain the momentum they have seen this bull cycle. But I am still bullish on this blockchain, and I was accumulating the other day. Just want to make sure you're aware of some of the weaknesses also. Now, our fourth blockchain that I'm excited to share today is an AI blockchain that we wish we were accumulating earlier, and that is BitTensor Tau. Now, Tau is very much an AI base layer blockchain that people are building upon, and we'll get into subnets in just a minute. So it's an AI infrastructure play, not just the narrative, not just the tech. It's literally the picks and shovels of AI, and it's building decentralized intelligence routing for real world scale. Now, look, this has an extremely complex architecture, and they are doing a terrible job getting retail to understand this token. It's very high volatility, thin liquidity, and dumps. So it is a very volatile asset. But Tensor and the subnets have an excellent staking model that allows you to participate in AI development, similar to like investing in angel companies. And we're going to be making a deep dive video in the near future on the Tau ecosystem and how we can benefit from AI. Right now, we're already staking with certain subnets that we are bullish on that deal with lending, trading, bridging, and social content creation. One of the greatest aspects of Tau is it is hard at 21 million tokens, very similar to Bitcoin. So right now, the emissions are high, but they are going to decrease year over year. This is a token that I want to be in for the rest of the cycle. And I'm bullish on their architecture, the thesis, and their tokenomics. Now, our fifth and final token before we get into our bonus picks, the mid caps, is Aerodrome Finance. Now, we are extremely bullish on Aerodrome Finance. And if you follow the channel, you already know this. It is the leading DEX on the base layer 2 blockchain, which is growing absolutely fast due to integration to Coinbase. Their bribes and mechanics create a sustainable yield because you can lock up your reward arrow tokens that you earn for providing liquidity to get a cut of the protocol fees. But you do have to lock those tokens for a 4-year period. Now, early Arrow definitely has early mover advantage in a chain with real adoption and real inflows. But look, the risk is still there for Aerodrome. There's high token emissions. The total value lock has to stick within the protocol. If it does not, the protocol could fail. The admissions have to match volume and price bleeds of the trading going on within the protocol. So the fact that Aerodrome is attached to Coinbase, it's Ethereum based, the institutions are into this one. I am bullish and I am now accumulating Aerodrome again now that we are below 90 cents. I'm still farming some tokens in liquidity positions, and we will highlight our Aerodrome and VFAT portfolios in a later video. But now is the time that we move into all of our bonus and mid cap plays. And I have 3 to offer you and talk about today. Now, our first bonus play today happens to be a DPIN / AI / gaming, used to be gaming project. Now they're getting into AI GPU compute. And it is another protocol where you can sell your graphic and processing bandwidth that you're not using on your computer, very similar to like render, but on a different level. And that is Aether. Now, we have made a altcoin deep dive video a while back on Aether. Please check that one out on our channel. But we are bullish on this powerful GPU compute solutions for a bunch of different reasons. It's a quiet AI and DPIN crossover narrative, and crossover narratives always perform well in the bull. It's an under the radar token, and early entry windows. Yes, there was a sell pressure. But this gives us an opportunity to position if you weren't able to get into their node sale a couple years ago. Now, this altcoin, in my personal opinion, could surge when crypto Twitter starts looking for the next AI chain, but there are still risks. This token does have some thin liquidity. Community growth and ecosystem traction are still needed. But here's the thing. It has a bull thesis. It hits this one still hits AI narrative, the DPIN narrative, and possibly they go pivot back into the gaming narrative. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see how this cycle ends. But this is a protocol that is earning money right now, and just like Aerodrome. And the protocols that are earning money are going to be the protocols that are going to perform the best, in my humble opinion. And maybe minus some of the meme tokens, of course. Now, let's take a look at our next bonus mid cap. And this is one I've talked about on the channel before too. It is Plume Network. Here we go. So the next altcoin I wanted to discuss is the Plume Network. This is number 2 on our bonus list. The Plume Network is an RWA play, and as it says on their page, transforming assets into globally accessible financial tools. It's going to be hot with the RWA narrative, much like Ondo, although we are picking up much more Plume because I do believe it has greater room to run because of the smaller market cap. And we've already amassed a pretty decent Ondo position, but if there's another dip, I may buy more Ondo too. Now, what's interesting is it's an ESG aligned modular infra layer, which means it's a long-term bet on sustainable chain architecture. It's backed by real teams building through the bear market, and those are always projects that I'm interested in. The ones building through the bear are always the ones who perform the best. And it has a unique narrative in a sea of lookalike layer ones. Right now, the risk is there's mid and micro cap volatility to this token, is very volatile, and definitely needs a lot more ecosystem to hit critical mass. Although this could happen towards the end of the bull, and that is kind of what I'm playing for. So now we're going to get into our final accumulated altcoin from yesterday. This one has been in the news a lot lately. It deals with the perpetual DEX narrative, the fight between Coinbase, Binance, Hyperliquid. It's not Hyperliquid. And we are talking about the Binance backed. And that final token is the Aster DEX. Now, Aster is a perpetual DEX play that was very much supported by Binance. We have talked about it in the past. Now, it's crazy because this token is a play in the perpetual DEX narrative. A lot of smart money has been buying up this token, but at the same time, a large percentage of it is in the hands of a few. So there are tokenomics issues. If this platform were to fail or get hacked, it's over. And this token very much is underexposed in Western markets due to its association with CZ from Binance. But when the perpetual DEX narrative pops, as it will with Hyperliquid, this one is going to run too, and it is showing a lot of strength in the near term, and it's one that I'm buying. Now, to finish up today, didn't want to just talk about my top 5 altcoins I'm accumulating right now, but I wanted to talk about my current portfolio allocations. Right now, you are looking at my allocations in cold storage. We are sitting at approximately 27.5% Ethereum. If I'd added all with what's on the other hardware wallet, probably closer to 30%, 11% Solana, 20% Bitcoin. My Sway is 6.8, AVAX 3.7, Arrow 3.6, Ondo 2.8, Tau 2.3, and that does not include what I've staked. Injective 1.8, Jupe 1.8, World Mobile 1.6, Link 1.5, which I'm slowly accumulating a little more of this also. Plume around the same, ADA around the same. I don't speak about that one that much, although I'm staking and holding on to it. Will probably sell out completely soon. Aether 1.4, Render 1.2, and a bunch of other tokens that we can talk about at a later date. But this brings us to the end. Most people don't make it in crypto, and they don't make it because they confuse price movements with meaning and conviction. But after a massive reset liquidation that occurred the other day, this is when the sentiment in the market is broken and structures are reforming. That's exactly when you load up on your high conviction plays. So don't ape in like a degen. Don't guess. You build positions slowly and intentionally. So I'm not necessarily saying the bottom is in. We could still go down lower. But what I'm saying is there's not enough time left in this market cycle, in my opinion. And I don't want to miss the train when that final pump happens. So I am saying good education and having an edge is real. You have to know where to look. And if you want to keep learning with a good community, Check out our free articles over at Dad's DeFi Space. Download the free course while it's still there and join the Telegram group while it's still free entry, no spam, just my moves and my structure. Supporting the channel by trading on Weeks and Blowflin. Use our links below to catch out some of those USDT rewards. Stay sharp, stay calm, and please stay in control. This is Dad DeFi. We don't chase those pumps. We're preparing for those pumps. And please take care of yourselves out there. Peace.